We're doing some juicy harvest. You guys want to see how big this harvest plot is? Watch this. Holy. Holy. They just buffed harvest, guys. Log on. Log in. Log in. It's not live yet, but they buffed it in the Reddit post. Guys, log in. Look at that, dude. Oh, don't log out. Do not log out. Log in only. Look at this. Thousands of life force. Insane. Actually crazy, dude. We have one more plot to go as well. I just did a T4 seed. I've had three T4 seeds. Also, hold on. Can I get a barometer? MBX streamers only. Okay, if you're a TPBer, just type XDD. How many of you are having problems sustaining maps right now? Is this a real problem? I can't tell if it's a real issue or if it's a couple people in my chat. Okay, I didn't want only XDD spammers. Doing the Einhar harvest memories is actually so crazy for Life Force. They're pretty cheap right now. If we look at them on trade, you can see that you can buy one for a little less than a divine. Sometimes you can scoop one for 0.7, 0.8. Last night though, I was buying these for 1 divine each. And when I had them done, all said and done, I was making around 80C or more, depending on what the life forces were going for. And that's for just 4 maps of me rushing in there, doing the harvest plots like you saw, and then just portaling out right away. All said and done, when you complete the 4 plots for this memory, you get around 10,000 life force. Sometimes you get a little bit more because, well, 10,000 is right about the minimum. Sometimes you get more though because you get T4 seeds that'll drop like 350, 400 each. Sometimes you get a couple of those, right? Oddly enough, I did like, I swear I did like 7 T4 seeds and I had gotten no of the Oshabi fragments, right? None of the Sacred Blossoms or whatever it is. And funny enough, there's not even a node for it on the Alice tree. I've had people tell me they did get some from the memories, but it seems like it's a very rare occurrence now, or I'm very unlucky. So that's just, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, I farmed a bunch of life force. I pretty much sold it all. I kept a little bit of it, right? But I had gotten up to, I think like 15, 16K in about each of those categories after I did like a few of these, and I was just constantly selling the life force as I was doing these. And I made my way up to like 900C. I converted some of it to divines, which I bought some last night, hoping they'd go up, but they didn't. They're still at 125. But this is pretty nice. We also did another test yesterday, because these are pretty expensive. It's a pretty big buy-in, and if you can't handle the harvest plots, you're not going to make your money back, unfortunately, right? Obviously, if you can't do them, then you're not going to get the life force. One last thing about these before we go on to the more relatable of the 2 strategies is that the item level of the area can be pretty helpful in getting some extra like bases and stuff like that. Because if you do an 85, it seems like you do have an 85 zone, and then you can get 85 bases and all that. But I didn't see too much of a change in the life force that you get, depending on, you know, I bought a couple low ones, I did a couple high ones. It didn't really seem too much of a variance, so you can do your own testing there. Maybe, you know, I was lucky and then unlucky, but no matter what, it does seem like you get around 10K plus, which is really, really cool. And you make, you know, some pretty decent money doing this. And you're helping the economy out by farming some life force. So we also did some life force testing yesterday with a wandering path tree. I had heard from some people that the wandering path is better than grand design when we're doing harvest. And that's mainly going to be because this is doubled everywhere. Harvest monsters drop 6 quant instead of 3. So if you don't know, the wandering path makes your notables, which are these things, right? Buried knowledge, this harvest one. I can't allocate it. Well, I can allocate it, but it does nothing, right? They grant nothing. But it's a 100% increase effect of the small passives. So that's also going to be the quantity, right? The quant in the middle is 2, and then you get 2 quant, 10 rarity here. And more important than that, and the extra quant of your harvest plots, stuff like this, right? The 6 quant of life force. You also are getting 4% effect of your modifiers on non-unique maps. Unfortunately, this makes your maps very, very difficult, but it also makes your maps more rewarding, because when the modifiers are of a higher difficulty, you get more quantity from them. So if you take 100% physical as extra fire on your map, and that is increased by 40%, then you're also getting more quantity, you know, correlative to how much more difficult it is, right? So you can get some really high quant maps. You also get more pack size, more rarity, and so then you get even more life force as well. So it's kind of just quant boosting, but it makes your maps really difficult, and you do have to be careful. Now, when we did it like this, and we went ahead and bought some sextants, we would attain about 1,000 or more life force per plot. And if you keep in mind that life force is going from 50 to about 64 to 1 chaos, that's not bad. We would get 1,000 on the minimum, 1,500 on the top end if we got lucky on spawning some extra monsters. We would buy this compass that would force the Sacred Grove for 4 uses. So this is about 15. And then you have to buy the life force duplicated, which are about 9, 10C. So all in all, it's 25C for 4 maps of this. And you do a couple maps and that pays it off. And then you have a few maps of just free life force. And that's with the whole Atlas passive and everything. This isn't a crazy money maker. What is the memories, but this is a very nice way to generate life force if that's what you're looking to do. You can get 1,000 to 1,500 over your 4 maps, you know, or per plot, and that's pretty good. If we take 1,200 divided by 60, right? Maybe it's about an average. This means you're making about 20C per harvest plot, and when we're paying like 35C for the 4 sextants, this means we're making like 12, 11, you know, maybe we'll just call it 10 chaos profit for every single harvest plot that we do. This is pretty nice, right? That's not bad. I mean, you get an extra 10C for every map that you do. Maybe you can just go in there, do this, bounce out right away on some random, you know, trash map, but really you can kind of got to clear the rest of it. I was doing some expedition and stuff, build up a couple logbooks, probably do some more expedition today, but this is not bad, right? I really do think the life force should be boosted a little bit. Even with the full investment, it doesn't feel super worth it. It is kind of nice, right? You do get 1,000 to 1,500, but you have to buy these sextants that are like super specialized, very specific. Thank God I'm saluting all the sextant rollers out there. Thank you for doing your service. All right. And we'll do our service by farming some life force. But I just wanted to share this because life force is very hard to obtain, and it is very frustrating right now trying to use harvest. But if you were looking to obtain some life force on the down low, I think your best bet is to buy the Einhar memories. This is by far the best way to farm life force. This method is nice, and if the memories start to run out, this is, you know, semi-sustainable because there's always going to be sextant rollers. I don't know how rare the memories are. Maybe people just have not caught on until Mr. Broadcaster makes a YouTube video. But this is what I came up with. Okay, this is the end game juicing mega harvest life force plotting. Anyways, like and subscribe. Catch me in the live stream. I'll see you guys later. All right, peace.
Follow him. Twitch.tv/trypolarbear. He's got a big dick, dude.